What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast. I'm your host, Marissa Tong. First of all, happy Friday and happy International Women's Day. I hope that you guys are feeling good today. And when I say you guys, I mean the women. If there's men listening to this, I hope y'all are feeling good as well. But it's Women's Day, okay? So women, make sure y'all are doing something for yourselves today. Go treat yourself, go dance, go get a massage, go just, I don't know, be in your essence, be in your feminine. So today we are actually continuing episode 28. I know it seems so far ago, like such a long time ago, but first of all, I just want to say this, like we never uploaded that episode to YouTube, so there's no video episode of 28, but you guys can catch the audio. The audio's on Spotify or Apple. And it was a super short episode, but I remember like saying I wanted to continue it part 2. And I feel like there's no better time to continue that conversation than today. Number one, it's International Women's Day, right? It's a perfect time to talk about misogyny, right? And just women taking their power back. And then also there's like now all these allegations with the Diddy case and all of these people in the music industry. Like things are just getting really crazy. So first, if you guys didn't get a chance to listen to 28, make sure you go back, listen to episode 28. You can either pause this, come back to it, or you can just listen to 28 right after. But basically, that episode was inspired by the show Rap Shit, which, what the heck? Why did that show get canceled? Why did that show get canceled? I'm so pissed. Like, let's just talk about really quickly how Black shows are always getting canceled. Like, why are Black shows always getting canceled? Like, this was only season 2 on HBO. This was Issa's second show on HBO after having an extremely successful show, Insecure, which like what was it, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, like super successful show, like amazing. Like I know people who are not Black who watch that show. Regardless, like Rap Shit was something completely different, but it was such a good show. So the last episode, 28, okay, I felt inspired to talk about misogyny in the music industry and some of my experiences, and also like I mixed it in with like my hot girl era, right? Like me being in the club scene, having celebrity encounters, if you want to call it, and just also being a dancer, right? Like in the industry, like I've worked with artists. I can't say that I've worked with anybody who's been like super, super huge as of yet, but also like I was telling my girl this the other day, like there's just certain rooms that I have no desire to be in at this point in my life. Like I'm not really out here trying to audition to dance with Beyonce. Like, and it's not like that has never crossed my mind as far as like things that I could achieve to, right? Like if I keep training, if I, there's certain steps, right? We all know there's a certain path that you have to go on. Right now, I feel like this path that I'm on is more towards like freedom, authenticity, showing up as myself, right? And sometimes, like, I'm just going to say it, when you are dealing with people in the music industry and you're trying to, get your foot in the door and you're trying to work with certain artists, sometimes you have to shut up. Sometimes you have to shut up. Sometimes you have to see things. Sometimes you can't comment on certain things. So, like, me having this podcast and not saying that, like, obviously, this isn't a podcast where we talk gossip about celebrities and all that. Like, definitely not. But even me, like what I'm going to talk about today with like the Diddy situation, it's me having my opinion and my thoughts on it, right? The last episode as well, talking about, things that I've seen in the industry dealing with certain celebrity brothers and stuff, talking to me crazy. So I just know like the person that I am and the person I'm becoming, I'm not the type of person to just sit back and let things happen to me or let people talk to me crazy. So that's why I just know I'm not beat to be in this industry, like specifically like the higher up, big level, high level music industry and working with certain artists, because it is dark. It's very dark. There's a lot that goes on. There's a lot that happens that people don't talk about, even like in the dance industry. I don't know if you guys remember like Will DeBeast, and he was married to Janelle. I don't know how you say her last name, Janestra, I think. but she has Naughty Girl Fitness, which a lot of people know now, right? Like it blew up, but they were like a power dance duo for a while. And then this whole scandal came out that Wildebeest was like molesting dancers and people in the industry. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And these things go on for years, right? These things happen for years, and either the victims are too afraid to speak up or talk about it, or they feel embarrassed, or they're blaming themselves for it, or they feel like they're not going to get to the next opportunity, or they're not going to be able to have a chance taken on them if they speak up about what's happening to them, right? So a lot of these men, right, like Wildebeest, like Diddy, they use their power, they use intimidation, they use the power of connection, right? And putting you on to certain people and putting you in rooms with people to quiet you, right? To quiet you, to intimidate you. And then now with like Diddy or whatever, it's way beyond that. It's violence, it's gun violence, it's physical, domestic abuse. Like it's so much. But I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think where we ended off in episode 28. We were kind of just talking about like just not wanting to be in certain situations, right? So I stopped clubbing and I stopped really like wanting to hang around certain types of people. Like, I don't care if this rapper, I don't care if Chris Brown's at the club. I'm not running to the club to hang out with Chris Brown. Like, I don't care. I'm not a groupie. I don't want to have sex with Chris Brown. Like, there's just a lot of things that I have no desire to be around or to see, right? Like, my life is very peaceful. So that being said, right, this whole Diddy thing literally came out, I want to say like within days of me putting out that episode 28. And I had mentioned in that episode, if you go back, that I was chilling in the recording studio with Diddy's son, his youngest son, and me and my girl ended up going to this club with him and his like crew or whatever you call it, posse, what do you call it, team, I don't even know. But we end up going with them, and some like, I don't know what happened. I didn't hear gunshots, but people were running. We were like hiding and we left. So we weren't there that long. But then this whole thing comes out. Cassie has this huge, long lawsuit against Diddy, just talking about like all these horrific things that he did to her, all the things that she went through for that whole time frame of her being with him, in a relationship. And the sad thing is like he literally groomed this girl from youth, from her being young, taking advantage of her, knowing that she wanted to be a rising star, right? Like, and he took advantage of that, right? He used his power and then isolated her away from family, away from friends, was drugging her, putting her in these situations and all this stuff. So you guys can go check out the story. I don't need to sit here and like rehash it and talk about, the whole lawsuit. But the thing is, there is a reckoning that's happening. I don't know if you guys realize this, right? Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, who is the other guy? Jeffrey Epstein. Like, there's all these people who have been abusing, just doing all these horrible things to women, right? Over the years, and not just women. Now we're seeing not just women, right? Men as well, harassing people, threatening people, doing crazy things to people, using their power, using their money, using their influence over the years. And now is the time for these people to pay. Okay, I believe in jail. Go to jail, lock them up. Lock them up. And it's crazy. Like, Diddy has children, and not one, not two, not three, not four. Like, he has multiple children. What example are you setting for your girls, for your sons, right? Like, now this whole second lawsuit, this isn't even the second lawsuit. I'm just saying like second as far as like public, huge, whatever. This like guy came out, this producer, whatever, and he was talking about, now all this other stuff, including all these other artists, allegedly Usher, allegedly Chris Brown, allegedly Meek Mill. Like, it's just, it's crazy now. It's getting out of hand. And, there's always going to be the people who don't believe the victim, and, not saying that there couldn't have been some things sprinkled in that lawsuit that maybe weren't true or maybe were exaggerated and all that. Like, because I don't see like the point in bringing up all the other artists if they weren't the ones who were, harassing and assaulting and all that stuff. I don't know. That's just me. But regardless, it just shows that these people are all connected, right? Something that just came out, Usher being seen in Bali with freaking Russell Simmons. And Russell Simmons has mad grape. I'm going to say grape because I don't know, YouTube might take down my video, but he has mad grape charges against him. Okay. So this man escaped to Bali so that he could escape these charges or whatever the case, and is sitting over there acting like he's like this spiritual person and like he's trying to do good in the world and practicing meditation and yoga. Like, you are disgusting. Kimora Lee Simmons, she's come out and she's talked about the horrible things that he has inflicted on her and her girls. And we've seen videos of him screaming at his daughters and stuff like that. So it's like these people are all connected. And it's like, Usher, that's really not a good look. Like, that's really not a good look. You just had a Super Bowl, performance, and you have your residency and you have all this stuff going for you. And you go out to Bali to take pictures with an assaulter. That's crazy. That is crazy to me. And, there's been rumors that Usher has been groomed in the industry as well from a young age by Diddy. So it's like, it makes sense. It makes sense that these people are connected. It really, really does. All that being said, like, I could sit here and we could, gossip about celebrities and stuff like that. But like, it's really just sad. It's really sad. And us women, we have to protect ourselves because there's a lot of women who are also enablers, right? There's a lot of enablers as women. There's women, I'm sure, that work with Diddy. I think Diddy has a female lawyer. Like, there are women out here advocating for this type of behavior, and it's disgusting. Like, how can you advocate for a monster? Even if you're a lawyer, that's something that I never understood. Like, being a lawyer, like defending like a murderer or, someone who is doing crazy things like this. Like, how do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night? It's crazy to me, and it's like women who are seeing this and who are not speaking up and who are covering, even the victims. It's like, if you're not speaking up, you are covering for your abuser, right? So this is the time, honey. 2024 is the reckoning. I really believe, I think it's a karmic year. So, a lot of people believe that karma is always like what comes back to you, will come back in a bad way. But karma is good and bad. Karma is just whatever energy you put out, you're going to get back, right? And karma isn't always like instant or right away. Sometimes it takes a couple years for you to get your karma, right? So if you were doing something crazy, I know I've definitely had my karma of certain things. I've definitely had my karmic events, okay? And it's a reckoning. It's time for people to be held accountable. It's time for people to speak up. It's time for changes to be made. It's time for women to take their power back. It's time for men to stop thinking that they could just do whatever and get away with things. It's disgusting. Like, stop it. Stop. You're going to get caught. It's time. Like, we need to speak up as women. Stop it. And this goes for anybody. I know so many women who have dealt with, abuse or any type of assault or anything, even if that's just verbal, like a man calling you like a bitch or something, like, never, that is never acceptable. Never acceptable. And it's just time for us to take care of each other, show up for each other, like, and also get healing. We need to heal. Things happen in our lives. I was literally just talking to my mom about this last night. Like, things happen in our lives sometimes, and we either have to talk about it to someone, and sometimes, like, it's just not always the right time, right? We might not feel like it's the right time, especially if you're someone who is younger or you are in a position where you don't feel like you have a lot of power or control, right? You might not speak up, but maybe years later you want to talk about it, right? So getting the right help, whether that's a therapist, whether that's a journal, whether that's just a safe space, a spiritual practice, or a group, a community, right? So just finding the help, the support, the healing that you need, we definitely need to tap more into that. So yeah, y'all, I just really wanted to come back and kind of just address everything that I was talking about. But if you guys are tuned into this whole Diddy thing, drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you want to see him locked up like R. Kelly, because I definitely do. And yeah, ladies, let's just keep showing up. Let's keep showing up for ourselves, for our daughters, for our sisters, for our nieces, and also for the men. They need to be guided. These men need to be guided. They're misled. And the reason that a lot of them are misled is because they're being raised by people like Diddy. Okay. Now look at his sons. His sons are in some trouble now. Justin's, caught up in this lawsuit now about shooting somebody in a recording studio. And like, it's just, it's crazy. I'm tuned in. Okay. I'm tuned in. I want to see this man locked up. Let me know what I could do. Right. Let me know what I could do. Cause it ain't right. It's pure evil. Pure evil. I don't like it. Anyway, y'all, I hope that you're having a beautiful Friday. I hope that you are enjoying. Sorry that the pod is a little late, but it's tax season. Okay. I'm trying to get my life together. It's tax season. We got this retreat next week. I cannot wait to be in Curacao. Expect an episode in Curacao. I probably definitely will be recording one of the episodes there, maybe two. So stay on the lookout for that. We have our summer retreat coming up. That's June 21st to the 23rd. You guys can check that out. We have spots available. If you guys are in New York, New Jersey, even if you're not, like, take a flight, come on over wherever you are in the States, right? Like, or if you're out of the country, pull up Brewster, New York. Details are on the website. I'll link everything in the show notes. And if you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you rate and review the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, what's up? Drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Hit that like button, share this episode with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care, y'all. Bye.